Hey everyone, it's Michael from Chess Lifestyle, and we are 2 minutes away from our next 38 minutes of training. I believe we're still on 38 minutes. We are up to 2,252 subs, so let's check it out. But I'm pretty sure that's not gonna. Yeah, so we're still rounding up to 38, so 38 it is. And yeah, actually. This should be the first time that you will be able to join as a Chess Lifestyle member if you would like. Wait, I'm trying to find the live stream of this so I can check chat. Yeah, but yeah, I actually don't know if it will work. Like whether you'll be able to join and like. Have the cool comments and stuff, but basically if you join as a member, you'll be able, like every month you'll get a different badge. And what I've gone with, since in the last video I explained that the membership will be like called a tactical rat, a bit like a gym rat, because we're here doing tactics, and I decided for the different badges we'd start off here like as a newbie, which is kind of like the Deep Dark Forest rat. And if you don't know Mikhail Tal's analogy with the Deep Dark Forest, you probably should look that up. So I thought I'd start there, and then staying on this Mikhail Tal kind of vibe, we've then got the Magician rat, and then I think that's for 1 month, and then for 6 months is going to be the Mikhail Tal rat with his iconic smoking rat. So I think if you subscribe to the membership, you'd be able to get these badges for your comments if you so wish to do so, but obviously no obligation. And we better get into it because we are into our 38 minutes. So for today's stream, what I want to do is keep going on this Chess Mood Tactics Ninja. I will change my scene now so I'm not blocking anything. And last time we did Pin, Skewers, Forks, Annihilation, and this time I wanted to do the 4 Ds. So Deflection, Distraction, Discover Check, and Double Check. So what I'm going to do for this is just like the others, since, you know, I am above the level of 2000, I will skip straight to the test. We will do the test together, and then if we get everything right, then we'll move on if there were any moments that we struggled with, then we'll head back and take a look. So let's go do this test now. I'll pause the Zelda music.
Here we go, the first example. In this position, White resigned. Do you agree with White's decision, or there was a better option? You can post a video, I think.
Okay, so firstly, never resign. So definitely we should try and find a solution. Okay, so I'm seeing a very interesting line here. If only I could draw on the screen. But okay, I'll just save a notation. So I'm seeing actually like Queen e5 is a really interesting move, because even though Rook takes h2, King takes h2, and King takes g4 is possible, after King takes g4, that would actually lead to a mate with Queen e2 mate. So I wonder if Queen e5, it pins the queen to the king, prevents the queen from taking on g4, and yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, I think White is probably just fine. So I think Queen e5 is my solution.
Okay, White resigned here because I thought that there is no defense against Queen g4, and Rook on c2 controls the g2 square, and White pieces cannot defend the g4 rook. This part of thinking was...
It's mate in 2? Okay, so it's not Queen e5? Oh, it is. Oh my god. Okay, so this is where we need to look harder, and this comes back to the whole calculation method. Also, welcome Peter. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, like I don't know if you saw my recent video on calculation, but basically, yeah, it's the goal with calculation, right? Like when you sit and calculate. So for me, I wanted to just avoid getting mated, so I was content with Queen e5. But yeah, if you've got the time on the clock, you should look for more, right? And okay, we don't even have a clock, so of course we have the time for more. And yeah, Queen takes g6, forces Queen takes g6, and Rook h4 is just mate. So yeah, probably should have seen that one. I actually don't know, maybe Queen e5, did I am I in trouble actually after queen e5? Like maybe like rook h1 is actually a serious threat, which I didn't really deal with properly. Like, okay, I can take on f5, I can take with the g pawn, and maybe I'm actually in trouble. Like rook h4 check, king g6, and how am I actually getting out of this mess? Like probably I have to play g4 or something, but it's horrible. So, hey, relax. We just started the stream. Give me a chance. Okay, yeah. So queen g6. That's the way to go.
Correct. However, resignation was the wrong move. Because if the queen was on f5, there would be rook h4 check, which would be a mate. Right now, white cannot play rook h4 because of the pin, but white was able to deflect the queen on f5.
Right. So this is the point of deflection, right? So I think like a simpler term that sometimes is used is distraction. So you're basically like distracting the piece from its role and then executing the move.
Taking the pawn with the check, opponent has to take on g6, and now rook h4.
Aye, welcome Terrence, welcome Will. Let's go. Okay, so white's turn to move. Okay, so based on the last exercise, I think this one is pretty clear. I'll give you guys a chance to find it. So again, there's a checkmate threat for black, and yeah, we want to deal with it and maybe also deliver a blow ourselves. Really? That's unbelievable. For anyone who doesn't know any context, Will is like a massive racist. So for him to bother learning Chinese is actually hilarious. But I can imagine a lot of growth since school. Like, you know, if you're still Cartman, that would be pretty tragic. So that's pretty cool, I guess. But yeah, okay. Back to the chess. Basically, bishop d4. I think has to be the solution. Just pin the queen to the king, and if queen takes, then queen h6, and that's just mate. It's good enough.
Okay, black has put on g7 and rook on g8, and they want to take on g2, which will be a mate. It seems we can try to play bishop at d4, pin here, but here after bishop at d4, black can play e5, and now our bishop on d4 hangs, and also they will take on g2.
But you just take on e5, right?
d4, or we had to play other moves of bishop d4. Please pause the video.
Okay, no, it's still bishop takes e5, right? Yeah.
The bishop e5 is to keep the pin, and black cannot take on g2. The next one we want to take the queen, and after queen e5, queen h6, and mate. By the way, one more trick. After bishop e5, I said we want to take the queen, but I just noticed there is a better option. Do you see it? What white has a better option instead of taking the queen? Okay, using.
Oh well, yeah, we can make use of the pin and play queen h6 anyway. So okay, that's all good.
So in the early position, bishop d4 was the best move. Instead of defending the g2 pawn and playing the g3, if bishop d4, white would win the queen e5, bishop e5. The next one. In this position, black played h6, attacking the knight on g5, and kind of asking us to go back with our knight. What do you think? h6 was the good move or not?
Okay, so yeah, again, like when you see a position, you always want to take note of like all the potential ideas, and it like obviously like queen h7 jumps out at you, but of course there's a knight on f6. So then yeah, you look to see if you can deflect it, and knight d5 is a nice fork because yeah, you're hitting the queen and the knight, which is guarding the square. So even if the knight takes, well, it can't because of mate. So I think knight d5 is just good.
We cannot play queen h7 mate, but we'll simply take the queen. But what we can do after h6, we can try to deflect the knight on f6. How? If you say to your knight d5, very good.
Nice.
Knight d5, we attack the queen and also attack
good stuff, Terrence.
If black takes knight d5, not h7 is a mate. After knight d5, if black moves the queen.
So I think these chess mood quizzes, they will get a little bit harder, but in general, I think it's going to be relatively easy. So I hopefully we'll just speed through them and then move on. But I think still like practicing these like basic ones, it's still useful because like they come up a lot.
So the h6 move was a blunder. After knight d5, white could win the game. The next example, it's white to move.
Okay, so white to move. Ah, okay. So again, just gotta look harder at like the different like threats you've got. So again, queen and king are forks distance away with knight g6 in the position. Okay, the bishop is guarding it, so we want to deflect the defender of the square. So again, bishop d5 is a nice fork between the rook and bishop and knight g6.
In the game, white played bishop b1, offering bishop exchange. What do you think about this one? Was it a good idea or not?
Oh, your name is Lucas? Okay, fair enough.
But the most important square that bishop defense is the g6 square. Otherwise, white would be able to play knight g6, check and win the queen.
I actually can't read that, Will. I know the first two characters like Zhongguok, which is like China, I think. But I literally can't read the rest. Like, I can only speak a bit of Cantonese, and my reading is absolute trash. Okay, Lucas, I'll try and remember. Who's Terrence? Who's Terrence?
b5 is not bad, trying to exchange the bishops and then playing knight g6. However, black played here queen f7, defended against the threat, and later the game finished in draw. While in the initial position, white here had a winning move to the playing bishop b1.
Oh wow, bishop d5 was missed. Okay.
If you didn't find the move, you can pause the video and try to find it. Okay, white could play here bishop d5, attacking the bishop b4, and also the a8 rook. If black takes bishop d5, now they don't control anymore the g6 square, and with knight g6 fourth here, white would win the queen. And after bishop d5, black cannot defend the bishop on e4, and at the same time a8 rook. If you found bishop d5 and you say that bishop b1 was the wrong move, you are doing fantastic job. Let's go to the next example. It's white to move. Rook is on b8, queen on b6, and they want to take on b2. White has the three options: queen d2, rook d2, or king d2. Which one would you choose? You can pause the video and think.
Okay, so we've got three options to take. Just so you guys know, my initial instinct was to play like rook takes. That would be my general instinct. It feels a bit too crazy to like try and run with a king. I also don't see why rook takes would be losing. And that's the point, right? Because I think like if queen takes, black wants to play queen takes b2, so they need to deflect the queen on d2. So after queen takes d2, then bishop g5 looks like a really strong move, and if f4, then just bishop takes f4, and it looks like we're toast. So I guess on rook takes d2, if bishop g5, then we can simply just move the king. And okay, they can take our rook, we can take back with the queen, but the queen like holds. But then I wonder, like, okay, we've had to give back the exchange, and what's the material like? Okay, we're still 2 pawns up. This should be enough, but maybe king takes can work. But no, king takes, just queen takes b2, and we drop the knight. So rook takes has to be.
Okay, first of all, we cannot take with the king and try to run, because, yeah, at this point we are exchange up, but after queen b2 check, we are forced to move the king after which...
Cantonese scrub.
And now that's two bishops against our draw.
Oh, really? Cantonese your mother tongue? Solid, solid. Okay, we can chat shit about Will and he won't know what we're talking about. That's perfect.
Okay, if you didn't have the command at d2, queen b2 would be checked.
Okay, I mean, I don't think you can chat shit because, I mean, how am I supposed to hear your Cantonese? I'm really tired, by the way. I'm so tired. Like, this like streaming every day, like, it sounds like such a good idea, and I was just like, oh my god, like, what have I signed myself up to? But we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work.
And now we're forced to give up this queen. Otherwise, queen f4, queen b2 is a mag. So
Yeah, so I think we got this one.
And agree after bishop g5 to do h9. Because after we play king b1, bishop d2, queen d2, here we are still 2 pawns up. And then we play c1, mobilize our pieces, and everything will be okay. So queen d2, the move which looks the best at first, was the wrong one. We should be very careful, not with just our opponents, but also opponent's one. In this case, after queen d2, it would blunder opponents, bishop g5, strong move. The last example. A very strange position, opponent's king on h4.
It was rook takes it was rook d2, right? Like, I wasn't tripping.
It's right to play. What would you choose here?
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's rook d2. I kind of missed what Avatic was saying. I need to focus. Yo, it's been a long day. Had like a fat ass dinner. Like, there's actually a legit thing called burger brain, where like if you've just eaten, like it's gonna be tough to like do anything chess related. But okay, we gotta work. We gotta work. So white to play. Okay, so my initial thought was that if we push g3, it's mate, but the pawn is pinned. So again, the rook is the key piece, and therefore we want to distract it. So queen e1 check, the rook takes, and then we can play g3. Nice. Your second plan B. So yeah, I'd say to everyone in chat, just like whenever you see the answer, just say it. Like if someone wants to like solve it, they can just ignore chat, solve it first, and then look at chat. So yeah, just go for it. Like don't hold back.
No, like has stressed. G2 with queen, it's gonna be made after g2, it's gonna be made a little bit later. Like wants to take queen f4, so queen rook and king can attack us. But it's our move. We can't try with h6.
And also, yeah, one other tip for anyone who doesn't know, it's like in general, when you're trying to mate an open king, you need 3 pieces, and very often it doesn't actually matter which pieces you use. So here we have a classic case of rook, pawn, and pawn, which, you know, like you might not think that they typically work together and mate, but normally 3 pieces is enough. I guess you could argue the king is definitely involved as well. So I guess here you've got 4 pieces, and that's why you can play a move like queen e1, because you really don't need the queen. Like, yeah, 4 pieces is going to be enough to mate.
If like takes g4, there is no good way to defend the g2 pawn.
Yeah, exactly. Knowing the fiend makes it a lot easier.
And the bishop played rook h5.
Um,
Anyway, it's lost for white. However, in the initial position, here white has a move.
yeah, I think you've got mixed tactics right at the end, section 28. So we'll get there eventually. We'll get there eventually. But okay, no rush, no rush.
How? At this point, I hope you found the move. Queen e1 track. Checking the king. The only move
Yep,
is rook
yep,
e1,
yep.
right? And then g3 with a nice mate with that pawn. So, in the initial position, simply put like the rook 1 e2 instead of getting mated. Here,
Okay, I think we stashed the deflection. That was all good, except for me missing mate in 2 on on the very first exercise. So okay, let's move to distraction is a different theme to deflection. I always thought they were the same thing. So I guess deflection is deflection like a forcing distraction? Like what is the difference? I literally always knew them as the same. Okay, let's click this video. What is distraction? I'm genuinely curious. What's the difference?
Alright, I turned off the camera and we concentrate on the board. Before we go ahead, I offer you to post.
Okay, so this is just pushing e4, and then you push the bishop away and you move the rook. So deflecting is like attracting a piece onto a square, and distracting is just like kicking them away. You know, I have done woodpecker. I didn't finish all of it. I remember and I didn't even do the cycles properly. Like I gave it a good go like twice, and I completely failed at like sticking to it. But I did all of the easy and like a lot of the medium ones. But I guess I presume that they clarify the difference between distraction and deflection. I've completely forgotten. So I guess distraction is like you kick the piece away. Deflection is you. I thought it's also like, you know, you distract it off the square. I don't know. Let's see if this.
It's white to white, yes. After bishop can play bishops on c6, defends them knight on e8.
Oh
However, in the initial position instead of
no way! E4 is
here, one more idea. The knight on f6.
right. So you need to play G5. Okay. Interesting.
We cannot remove the defender. We cannot deflect it. However, we can simply attack it. Playing here g5. Kind of distracting the knight on f6. And now...
So G5 is distracting it, and then deflecting it is like luring it away, I guess. Yeah, E4 doesn't work. Yeah, tragic. Absolutely tragic. Yeah, no, I need to look more closely at
This is a very simple example.
at my opponent's candidates. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the quiz. Let's see if I handle that any better. But yeah, I still okay. Can someone in chat explain the difference between distraction and deflection? I still don't think I quite understand. Like, I get that, like, I feel like both effectively do the same thing, and I feel like each example is like slightly different anyway. So I feel like the definition is, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something obvious. If someone can explain it, that would be amazing. But okay, let's try these.
Go. It's white to move. How to continue? Please pause and think.
Okay, so white to move. Okay, so this looks like okay, at first glance it looks like we just go b3 and then c4 and the bishop moves and we take the knight. So I guess that's distracting the bishop off the defense of the knight. Tips for hitting 2k? Are we talking FIDE, Lichess, chess.com, Bullet, Classical? Give me the details, Armin.
Alright, the bishop on a4 defense and knight
Tell me your troubles.
Playing b3, bishop b5, and what now? If you say c4, you are correct. Now we
Okay, so this one was simple.
should move the bishop and take the knight, or they should move the knight and then we take the bishop. The next example. It's white to move. How to continue? Let's pause and think.
Okay, white to play. Okay, so let's think about this logically again. So, okay, just a quick note on the position. Material's equal. Maybe this king's a bit exposed. Okay, we're putting good pressure on this bishop, but there is a rook on d2 holding. So what if we were to... See, I would even say deflect this piece, right? I would say like, oh, bishop f4 would deflect the rook. So what is the difference? Distract, deflect, like... Yeah, literally Terence. Okay, I'm going to keep saying Terence because I see the word Terence. Lucas, right? Was it Lucas? Yo, was it Lucas? I'm going to have to scroll chat. Okay, it was Lucas. Okay, yeah. Like, I literally don't know the difference. Whatever. So, okay, bishop f4 would be my first thought. And then I guess on bishop rook d4, then bishop e3. And it looks like we just kicked the rook off that line. Like, rooks are actually tragic in open positions against minor pieces. Like a bishop pair against a rook, like the rook is just screwed. So yeah, bishop f4 seems to be right, unless I'm missing something. Okay, yeah, should be right.
Okay, the rook on d2 defends the bishop on d5, and when I play bishop f4, the rook has not many squares where it can move and keep defending the bishop on d5. We have the pawn on c2, there is no rook d3, the only place is rook d4, and we play now. If you play the bishop e3, you are correct. Now we attack the rook on d4, and at the same time we keep defending the d2 square.
Okay, so we got it. So, okay, to answer Armin's question. So, Armin says, I grinded chess a while back, like a lot, and hit around 1700, got stuck, and now I'm playing like an effing 1300 to 1400. Right, so you said you hit 1700. Like, was that like your starting rating, or did you grind from like a certain rating up to 1700? What's the story here? Always sack the rook, absolutely. Like, I think like, you know, this game is like a free result game in online chess standards. Yeah, just sack on e3 and anything can happen. But yeah, okay, first of all, before even thinking about 2000, you've got to think about why you're playing like a 1400. Like, why you're not playing like 1700? What's different? What's changed? Probably try and get back to like when everything was good, and then probably from there think about what your weaknesses are, improve them, work out your strengths, maximize those. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of like improvement is also about finding out like where your strengths lie as a player, because each player is different. Like, you know, if you forced Gelfand to play like Mikhail Tal and Tal to play like Gelfand, they'd be like 500 rating points lower. So yeah, you really just got to find out like where your chess is at. Yeah, honestly, in this day, I don't know when you got to 1700, but literally, like, yo, FIDE is hard, man. FIDE is hard. Like, I couldn't believe how difficult it was to just get to 2000. Like, I got to like 1900 as a junior, and like that extra 100, like, it should have been easy, and it was just hard. It was just so hard. But yeah, will you play Serbia Open again, yo? Probably. I actually love Belgrade. Like, Serbio's sick. I'll be back for sure.
The next example.
But yeah, it'll be a while. Okay, a white to play. Right. So okay, we have a beautiful kiss of death checkmate on e7. Queen takes e7, but the queen is being a nuisance defending. Queens are a terrible defender. So we should definitely look to try and exploit that. So maybe a move like rook d1 comes to mind for me. And yeah, how does this queen actually defend e7? It can't. So then the question is whether maybe black can block the rook. So maybe like either bishop d5 or knight d5, or knight d5 blunders queen takes h8. So rook d1, bishop d5. And then we can just sack the rook, as your second plan B mentioned. Just sack the rook, and yeah, the queen can't take, the knight can't take, so that's game.
Okay, the knight on f6 defends the bishop on e4, and at the same time the knight on f6 is pinned. The h8 rook will hand. Another resource in the position is that the queen on d8.
Will you play the London Shogi tournament? Yo, okay, let me get this clear. I'm not playing like any tournaments like coming up. Like I'll probably play like some Blitz and Rapid, but like I'm not playing any like classical, except for like my local league chess with the team, because I can't really abandon them. You know, like it'll be too sad. So yeah, very limited like competitive chess. Like I'm actually just so busy right now actually with like different projects and content and stuff. Like yeah, like tournament chess is taking a backseat for now. You'll stop studying chess after you reach 2200. Can respect that. But probably by that point you'll be like, I may as well just push a bit more, get to IM. Push a bit more, get to GM. You know, like I think it's tough to quit.
Where if the queen was somewhere else, let's say on c8, he will take queen e7, bishop on e3 support this move, and it will be a mate. What we could do here?
Oh yeah, I think we got this one.
Check, and now we lose the bishop on a3.
No. Oh, okay. I thought we like missed some like check or something, but thank God no. Okay. Oh yeah, let's do one more and then I'll answer some more questions. Okay, so what threat do we even have in this position? Okay, so I seem to understand that maybe there's some idea of queen takes f7. That's like looking out at me. So like maybe like knight fd2 just to hit the queen and reveal this attack on the bishop. Of course, there's queen a2, but then I think that position is a position where, okay, maybe there's like some distraction, deflection of the queen in order to, win this bishop. But how? Maybe I'm missing something more obvious actually, and I'm sure chat is like, I'm sure chat is the answer already. Oh man. Okay, so knight fd2, queen a2, just attack the queen, knight c3. And then, okay, the queen has to move somewhere, and then I think we can just take on f7. That looks pretty fair to me.
Marshal Rubinstein, not continue. Please, pause the time. Okay, in the game, Marshal played here knight fd2, opening the queen and the rook.
Okay, that's a good point.
Somewhere.
Shogi's not chess. My brain can't handle both shogi and chess like right now. Like I like definitely 100%. I'm coming back to shogi at some point. One thing at a time, to be honest.
The next example.
Okay, next example. Yeah, nice to see him still practicing to improve. Wait, what was? We don't. Oh, you don't see a full board. Yo, you don't see a full board. So this is what I was saying, right? Like I think like when I started streaming on YouTube, like for some reason it crops different. I don't really know why. Okay, let me edit this now. Why not? I mean, anything to get out of doing tactics. Am I right? Okay, let's do that. Okay, and then maybe let's. Okay, maybe we can go a bit. Oh no, that cuts out the logo. I mean, we don't want to do that. Let's go down a bit. Okay, and then we can. Okay. Honestly, I don't know if any of you have tried like streaming or like doing any content. Like it's always so easy on paper, and then you actually try it, and it's like 100 billion like problems come up. Okay, that should be nicer, I think. Someone already has the answer before I've even seen the question. God damn it. Okay, let me think. Okay, good stuff, Lucas. So basically, yeah, in this position, we've actually got two different threats. Maybe knight g6, maybe knight d7. Bishop is overloaded, controlling both. So we want to play e4. And actually, there was a concept which I learned a while back. Actually, when I took my like FIDE trainer seminar from Ivan Sokolov, like that was actually so crazy. That was so much fun to learn from like one of the greats. But he mentioned like this whole topic of key piece. And I hadn't heard of this topic of key piece, but it's actually a really good way of solving tactics. And I mean, I don't really use it at all in Blitz because I just can't like, I don't know, think in that way, like in such a short time. But in classical, it's definitely something that could be used. And I think it can be used when you kind of have a spidey sense that you might have something like some kind of tactical shot in the position. But it's all about identifying the key piece. And once you identify, let me try and remember this actually. Like, how does it even go? I think it's like, oh God, how does the key piece go? Like there are three things you can do to a key piece. It's like you can like deflect it, distract it, you can exchange it, and you can cut its coordination. But how do you even identify the key piece? I think the key piece is defined as like the piece that's holding the position together. So like this is a good example of the key piece, right? Like the bishop is controlling this weakness. So whenever you feel that there's a key piece on the board, you want to look to see if you can deflect or distract, if you can exchange it, or you can cut its coordination. And normally, like one of these three things will be able to work in the position. Yeah. Yeah, no, and I'm remembering now, like, there was a funny analogy actually with this, where some people had heard of this key piece idea, but they'd called they learned it as Messi. So basically, like if you imagine like Argentina, like the football team, like without Messi, they're nothing. So basically, just identify Messi, kill it, deflect or distract it, exchange it, or cut its coordination, and then like yeah, the position will collapse. So yeah, e4 is the way.
Okay, the bishop on f5 has two important duties.
Yeah, knowing when to stop and think is important.
Knight g6, and we would win exchange. And second important duty,
That's the whole
otherwise, we
whole
can
thing in
d7,
itself.
fork, and win exchange again. Now we can distract the overloaded piece. Okay, if knight e4, you are correct. You sacrifice the pawn, but the knight don't get
Aye, good stuff, Lucas. Good
d4,
stuff.
bishop leaves the square. We play knight d7 and win exchange. We play bishop h3, defending the d7 square. Now it's not defending the g6 square. We play knight g6 and we win an exchange.
Kick Messi's knees in.
Move up,
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, if that helps you remember it, then yeah, for sure, for sure. Actually, funny story of Hong Kong and Argentina. Actually, given that Lucas is from Hong Kong, I may as well bring it up. I was in citizenship class, PSHE, back in the day, and it happened to be like international matches going on, and for whatever reason, there was an international friendly between Argentina and Hong Kong. And I was sitting next to like my friend in class, and I was like, I had like a 2p coin on me, and I was like, I'll bet this 2p if you bet a quid that Hong Kong will beat Argentina. So we were just like sat there like watching like the result, like I mean the score and like the commentary like through the class, and I swear to God at 0-0 it was sorry at halftime it was 0-0. So the stakes were high, and then at halftime Argentina literally subbed on Messi, Di Maria, Higuain, like literally subbed on like all their like pro players, and then they won something like I don't know like 8-0 or something like yeah. But it was literally 0-0 at halftime, and then they had to sub on Messi, and then you know Hong Kong was finished after that. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Almost won a pound. Wild times. Wild times. But okay, let me think about this. So. Okay, we can see some tension. The bishop on c2 is pressuring this knight on e4. The knight on c5 is defending it. Would be lovely if we could remove it. Okay, b4. Seems to do the job. Am I missing anything? Doesn't look like there's any intermezzos to get out of this. So, yeah.
Nothing? All right.
Okay, this is quite easy.
Look, win the rook. Right now we cannot do bishop b3 because black can take our bishop.
You know what? I didn't even look at bishop b3. I think, yeah, this is the thing. Like knowing the theme, it's too distracting. Hey, too distracting. But yeah, it's just tough. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Discover check. For the record, I actually think I haven't. I've never properly studied. Oh wait, why are there two? Yeah, I've never properly studied discovered checks. So I think this will be good. I seem to remember as a junior, like I used to get like I'd sometimes like miss them and stuff. Like it was really bad. How many chess books did you read? Oh, I've muted this. That's not good. Okay, let me think about this and then I'll answer your question, Melora. Okay. Okay, so this one looks quite simple, just to win a couple pawns. Oh, and you get a fork at the end as well. So, yeah, basically like, yeah, discovered check is basically okay. Queen takes h7, king takes h7, and pawn takes d5 is the discovered check. So you're making a move, and you're revealing a check behind it. And okay, this is a pretty good move because you're hitting the queen, and when you take, you even fork. So this is a crazy position that I feel like would never come up, but yeah,
Let's go. The first example.
Oh my god.
Challenging, but a very, very nice one. You can post it with your answer. Okay. C6 opening the bishop 5 with a check. So the thing on d5 we make
Oh no, okay. For a second I thought that I missed the check again. I'm getting baited so hard. But no, it's just queen h7 and then this is winning.
one tip.
Yeah.
If you play online blitz game and during the game you notice queen h7 move, you should not do it. Because the opponent will think that you are a cheater, the online server will also think that you are a cheater, and you will be banned forever. No, guys, I'm joking. When you see such great, of course you should do that. And if somebody says that you are a cheater, just message me and I will cover your back. The next example,
Okay, some nice banter from Avatic there.
a little bit easier one than the previous one. It's white to move out of them.
Okay, I've got the answer. Yeah, definitely got it. How many chess books did you read? So actually, I think I've read less than average for my level, but I still think I've read like still a decent amount. Like most of the stuff I've read, I've actually not finished. But of books I finished, I read Chess for Tigers. This is a brilliant one. I went through like the excelling at chess calculation and excelling at chess positional play, which if you've seen my latest video on calculation and book recommendations, then you'll know what I'm talking about. And my recent favorite one is the Shereshevsky Method, which I've literally read every page of, some of it twice actually. And that's just such a fantastic book. It's actually incredible. So would 100% recommend that. It's more subtle. 96 is a response for black. Oh, this is a previous problem. Oh, wait. I'm kind of... Oh, do I go back? Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to see. I mean, this one is quite simple. You just go queen takes a7, king takes and bishop c7 mate. Yeah, I actually want to see this 96. Like, what is this? Okay, so this one was b4. And there's 96. And if we take the knight... Huh? I don't follow. Because I mean b4 is not to play bishop b3, b4 is just to take the knight. Is that not the point? But yeah, okay, let's move on. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Yeah. It's chill. Okay, let's keep going. No problem.
Let's go. The first example.
Oh yeah, Dvoretsky's Endgame Manual. Speaking of, next chess lifestyle video, little spoiler, is going to be on Dvoretsky because I was studying it today with a friend, and we literally came up with this like novelty in the endgame, where I don't think it's been uncovered before, but it's such a cheeky trick. It's so nice. We basically found a trick in king and rook against king and bishop, but I don't think it's been covered before. So it's very cool. I think it will make an interesting video. But yeah, where were we? The thing is, I'm uploading too much right now. Like, I'm wondering, like, should I chill out of it and like upload it in a few days, or should I just like upload it? I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I just upload it tomorrow or something, or should I just like chill out? I plan to read Soviet Chess Primer for my first book. I have heard of this. I seem to think that it's outdated somewhat, which doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but maybe there are better options for your first book. But also just read. Like, literally, if it's like motivation to read it, just read it. Like, don't even question it.
When it's white to move, how to continue?
The worst thing you can do is like, think like, oh, should I read this? Should I not read this? And then you just end up reading nothing, and it's just pointless. So, yeah.
The next example. It's white to move, how to continue.
It's like, for instance, this project, right? Like, the streaming every day. I could have like deeped it and think like, oh, is this a good idea? But just do it. I mean, if I burn out after a week and I stop doing it, at least I've done a week of tactics. Like, that's better than nothing, right? So just do it. Like, don't think. Just do it. That's my motto anyway. Okay, I've seen a cool idea. So basically, the king can move with discovered check. Bishop takes e5 as a fork. However, the rook can take, but then we can play king f4, and there's no king f6 defending the rook because the rook is covering it. So it looks like we've got everything covered, and that seems to be the result. Okay, let's see if this one has any prompt.
It's white to move, not simple but very nice one. Please pause the video.
Okay, yeah, I'll solve this first, and then I'll see what you asked, Terence. Oh, that's nice. Okay, I'll let you guys find this one, actually. I want a full answer from someone before we move on, because this one's real nice. Will you play chess instead of your instead in your daily chess training? That's a very good question. I think once I get to 2500 in all my ratings, then I'll just mess around with streaming and playing. But I think actually like when you play while streaming and then try and play like online again, like properly, it kind of messes up your rhythm. Like, so I actually feel like I could make 2500. Like, I know I probably sound delusional as heck right now because like, you know, I'm like a 90 points away on my blitz and okay, like 30 points away on my rapid. But yeah, I think like, yeah, one thing at a time, one thing at a time. So I need to do the tactics anyway. So I think I'll keep up with this boring tactics content first, and then we'll have some fun playing. Yeah, bishop g7, bishop g7, queen g7, knight f6, rook g8. After rook g8, it's not quite mate. After rook g8, what's the point? So the black king will go back to f8. So you need to see one step further, because if you only see up to rook g8 and the black king escapes, then actually, yeah, then you've sacked the queen and you may not win. Okay, as people get the answer, I'm gonna quickly get some water. Exactly, yeah. So king e7, rook e8 needs to be seen. And that's the interesting thing, actually. Like, knight and rook are actually an awful combination in giving checkmates. But when there's like a few more pieces around that block potential escapes, then sometimes the knight and rook can coordinate. And actually, the knight and rook coordinates best when the knight is actually on this square, a short diagonal away from the corner. So if you are ever trying to mate like the king, you almost always need this knight to be on this square in order to achieve anything. So that's just a little something. But yeah, that was a very nice one.
Okay, well, this make and it's a white to move. Knight.
Okay.
The next one. It's a white to move. Not easy, but very nice one. Please go to the jumping.
Okay. This is the thing. I actually really like respect Avatic for this, because it's like, you know, he's saying like these ones are hard, and to be honest, for Avatic, this like he'd probably see it in 1 second, but he's like trying to make it relatable. So like I really respect that. I really respect that. Like, I feel like most GMs are completely out of it. I don't know if you guys have like seen like the recent Kramnik stuff. It's actually just so tragic. Like how, you know, how can you be so good at chess and then just so stupid at the same time? It's just like such a, you know, I like, the thing is like, you know, see like Avatic's got like people skills and I can respect it. So that's my, I don't know why I'm even ranting about this, but I think I'm just disappointed in Kramnik. I think that's what it comes down to. So what's even going on here? Okay, I think I've got something. But this is not a discovered check. At least my line isn't a discovered check. That's probably a bad sign. Oh, but I guess it could involve a discovered check. So maybe that's why it's the answer. I still feel like I'm missing something somehow, but I don't see what. Oh, I've got it. Oh, wait. Does that work? Does that work, your second plan B? Because I've got the similar line, but with a different move order. So maybe yours is actually better, but... Oh, you're hitting with the knight d7 at the end. So, okay, maybe I'm missing something really obvious, but I thought queen takes g6, pawn takes, and then just play knight d6. And to use a shogi term, I felt like that the position was a brink mate. So for anyone who's, not discovered the joys of shogi, in shogi you have all of this tactics, positional chess, positional shogi, all of the same stuff, but just for shogi. And the cool thing is that, there's some really great terminology that's just been used in shogi that chess just didn't pick up on. And brinkmate means a forced checkmate in the position. So you can play a move that's not a check. It's not like appearing to be forcing, but there's not a single move that can prevent either mate. So what am I missing there? Oh, knight f6. Knight f6. I completely missed this. I thought queen takes, pawn takes, knight d6, and I just thought that, okay, I'm threatening to play rook h1. But yeah, on knight d6, just knight f6, and rook h1 can be met with knight h5. And suddenly I'm a queen down and looking like an idiot. So yeah, it looks like queen g6, pawn g6, rook h1, king g8, knight e5, check. The check cannot be blocked effectively. King f8 is forced, and knight d7. And what's the material like at the end there? I think we have an extra piece for a pawn, but the pawns are doubled and horrendous. Is that the right? Yeah, I think that's right. So, okay, nice. Good stuff.
Okay, we can take on g6, opponent's rook, and after h6, play rook h1 check. Opponent's problem is that after king g8, now the king can come where we have bishop on b3, and we can make a discover check. The question is on where to give this check. Let's follow that thing. Okay, there's a very nice mate after knight e5 check.
Oh, there's a mate! Oh, you take on g6! Oh, you take on g6. Holy crap. Holy crap. I feel like these checkmates, like I've sometimes pulled them off before, but I feel like I've pulled as many off like by luck as opposed to actually seeing them. It's actually tragic. But yeah, knight g6, very nice. But okay, at least we evaluated knight d7 and picking up the queen. We'd be a piece for pawn up. So as long as like the visualization is there to evaluate that and be content with the winning. It comes back again to the Mikhail Krasenkov calculation steps, right? Like, if you achieve your goal, and for me, being a piece up is achieving my goal, then you can stop the calculation. But if you've got the time on the clock, then you can look to see, do we have anything better, right? And, okay, in fairness, probably knight d7 and taking this queen might actually not be so clear-cut because the knight is actually very trapped. So, yeah, maybe it's not as clear-cut as I thought, and yeah, we should look for more. Okay, just to answer a juicy question before we continue. What do you... Okay, no, actually, let me get the next position up for you guys. Oh.
The next one.
Okay, I'm not going to look at chat because I don't want to see the answer, but just to answer the question of chess or shogi. Was that the question? Yeah. The question was specifically enjoy more, and that's a tough one to answer because there are many factors that go into enjoying something. I mean, it's the game itself, it's the whole environment, it's the pressure that you put yourself under, it's a number of factors, and I think probably overall shogi should come out on top logically, but I think when you have very twisted values when it comes to what actually makes something enjoyable, then ultimately I think chess wins, and I don't think it's like necessarily the healthiest, but yeah, I think like I don't know. There's something about it, just like maybe I'm attracted to this toxic community that chess brings. I don't know what it is. But yeah, I think ultimately like, or maybe it's just like, I've been a chess player for longer, so I feel more like a part of the community. Although no, I mean shogi like was just so nice. Like literally you go to a shogi tournament, everyone gets a prize. Like come on, like this is just so nice, and it's like there's so much respect for the game, and everyone's just there to like appreciate like the fact that we're here playing this amazing game, and you just wish that chess players could have like just a touch of class, which just doesn't happen. Like I kid you not, like today Okay, this is gonna be really embarrassing if the guy is watching the stream. Like, I really hope he's not, but the chance of him watching is like really slim. So I'm just gonna call him out. But like, I was training with my friend, right, in this coffee shop, and this guy comes over and he's like, "Oh, like, I'm a competitive player. I play tournaments. Like, what's your rating?" And I was just like, oh, these fucking questions again. And like, you can just tell, like, this person like is just like super keen, like, has got into it like in the pandemic or something, and you know, probably has played like one tournament. And the telltale signs are the fact that we had like Duretsky on the table, and he's not even paying any attention to Duretsky. Like, any respectable shogi player who would come up to me in that position and saw better moves or better shogi on the table, that would be the first thing they mention. We would have a very pleasant chat. But it's suddenly like, oh, I play 300 games a week and I'm a competitive, like, bro, nobody cares. Literally nobody cares. So I don't know, chess players are awful, man. Chess players are awful. So in conclusion, yeah, chess is more enjoyable, but for all the wrong reasons. Yeah, God, that was a real rant. But okay, let's try and solve this. Okay, so this is discovered check. So okay, my immediate thought is playing queen h7, because obviously it's gonna be queen h7, and then king h7, rook e8, check. Probably the only thing that can defend is g6, in which rook h8 is mate. So that is a very nice combination of using all of the pieces. Very unlikely to occur in a game, but hey ho, it's a nice tactic. You definitely get to this position and then see the mate at least. Oh, right, in the last position with knight g6. Yeah. Surely this person is a child? Oh, the person who came up to me? Nah, he was a fully grown adult. He was like
White to move out to continue.
late 20s, early 30s.
There's a very
Yeah.
nice solution here too. It would be cool if you could play rook e8. Open the bishop on b1, and after bishop e8, queen h7, check. But after king f8, queen h8, king e7, like king cross.
Yeah, so for the record, this is actually why I completely gave up attacking chess, because you see this variation here where the black king escapes. Obviously, this is a really simplified version of it, but you can get a position where you're going to win based on attack, but you have to find the win. And it's so much pressure to play like this, because let's say you're playing for like some endgame grind, or like you're playing for some advantage on the queen side, right? Like, all you need to do is play in a certain way that is leading towards that advantage, and you can make some mistakes, but you're still going to have some overwhelming like control over the position. So it's just such a cleaner and easier way to play that. It's so much less stress, because you wouldn't believe the number of positions I've had that are winning against like titled players who just wriggle out of like I don't know, completely lost positions, and it just makes you feel sick, because it's like you had a win on the position but you couldn't find it. Whereas if I had like some like, you know, positional like grip on the position and they had no chance to come back, then okay, it's a lot less risk. But having said that, you know, these strong players, they find resources and everything. So I don't know, probably nothing is the solution.
Position, we have a very nice
I don't know what to recommend.
knight king f8, queen h8 is mate, because rook only 1 controls the e7 square. And after queen h7, king h7, now we can give
Okay, we got this one. We got this one.
After rook e8, black plays bishop e4, later one should make g6, after which rook h8, next one. This is the toughest one from this video, but the most beautiful one.
Toughest one from the video. Okay, let's go. I don't believe it. Alright, my first instinct was queen takes g6, so we're just gonna roll with it. We're not gonna calculate properly today. Not at this hour. Not in this frame of mind. So let's just go for it. This probably wins. In a bullet game, I'm playing queen takes g6, and we're just gonna mate the guy. No question. Why is that not just like a super easy combination? Am I missing something? Yo, it's literally like mate in 2. It's literally like mate in 2. Am I missing something? Is it not just mate in 2? I heard Duretsky's manual is too hard even for 2200. Nah, This is the real take on Duretsky, right? Duretsky can be completely and utterly comprehended and understood by a 1500. However, to actually solve the exercises, and to actually discipline yourself to work through it, okay, you probably need the spirit of the 2200, but the actual book is explained so beautifully and so simply that a 1500 can understand it. And I can't believe, like, when I studied Dvoretsky for the first time, it was during the pandemic, I could not believe that I had not, like, attempted to study Dvoretsky until that moment, because I had this fear. Like you said, that, oh, you know, it's 2200 plus, like, don't even bother. Stick to some, like, 100 endgames you must know, which is just, like, the most... I'm not a fan at all, because it's just, like, that's not how you study endgames. You're not going to remember anything if you just have, like, 100 random, like, endgames of, like, random technical positions. Like, maybe it works for some, but not for me. So if I just started with Dvoretsky, I would have been completely fine with it. And then you slowly... That's the other thing with Dvoretsky. Like, you'll study it once, you'll remember some stuff, and you won't remember everything. But the next time round you come across it, oh, the ideas come much faster. And yo, the third time you're coming across it, you're hitting all of these themes, like, super well. So it's one of those things, like, it's going to be a lifetime to master, but you definitely shouldn't, like, wait until you're, like, a certain level. Like, it's literally explained, like, super, super well. Like, there's a reason why it's, like, you know, the greatest chess book of all time. And yeah, it's just fantastically written. And it's been, yeah, it's like, I think they've had enough people, like, editing it and checking over it to just, like, make it, like, such an amazing book. So yeah, shout out to Dvoretsky. And the other thing about it as well, it's not all, like, theoretical. So a lot of people think, oh, it's just, like, some theoretical positions, don't bother with it, like, you know, it's never gonna come up, like, why waste your time memorizing this shit? Like, sure, there is some theoretical stuff, but there's a lot of principled stuff as well. So, like, yeah, like the topics on, like, opposite color bishops and, like, all sorts, like, yeah, like, there's so much, like, really, really golden principled, like, content in it. So yeah, start with Silman endgame book. I actually think I did a bit of it, because I think a friend of mine was going through it. I think Dylan, actually, who's the other guy on the channel who hasn't posted in forever. And I think I did some exercises with him, but again, I just don't think the structure of any endgame book can beat Dvoretsky. Like, Dvoretsky is literally written in the perfect structure. Like, you start off with the pawn endgames, you learn all of the vocabulary that is then used in later chapters, and it's just such a brilliant book. But yeah, I'm sure it's probably overkill for a lot of people. Also, Queen G6 is just the answer. I was really getting my hopes up for this, but I feel like it's just Queen G6.
To solve it, that it's a fantastic job. Here, white again sacrifices the queen playing Queen G6. What is happening? If black takes H6, you know this pattern already from the previous examples with bishop and
Your second plan B, yo, I can't read these paragraphs. Like, okay, I need to pause and read. Oh, even Shereshevsky? Okay, but Shereshevsky and Dvoretsky, like, they're two, like, you can't compare them. You can't compare them, because one is about endgame strategy, one is more about, like, I don't know, it's got an element of endgame strategy, but it's just different. They're both on the same level of god tier. They're both amazing. Okay, here's a quotation about styles of mathematics that may apply to chess style as well. The hammer and chisel principle is, put the cutting edge of the chisel against the shell and strike hard. I can illustrate the second approach with the same image of a nut to be opened. Okay. The first analogy that came to mind. Okay. Yo, your second plan B. I can hardly do chess. I can't decipher these riddles. The shell becomes more flexible through weeks and months. Ah, right. So yeah, it might feel like nothing is going in, and eventually it just cracks, and then, like, you feel like you've got everything. Maybe that's the case with Dvoretsky. I don't know. I think it's definitely worth it. I know that I don't know how many videos you guys have watched of mine, but basically I remember when I studied Dvoretsky, I played in a tournament soon after. And this was a tournament in Hull, the dreaded Hull tournament, where I basically had a pawn-up endgame, a pawn-up pawn endgame, and I literally spent a month studying pawn endgames of Dvoretsky, and I lost the pawn endgame. And literally, it was a win, became a draw, became a different kind of draw, became a harder kind of draw, and then I lost. And I was so distraught at the fact I've put all this effort in, and I managed to lose it. I quit chess for for some time after that. But the fact is that the reasons why I lost that pawn endgame were for so many different reasons, and I cannot blame Dvoretsky for it. It was for purely idiotic reasons. And the fact is, actually, Dvoretsky, the stuff I've learned from the pawn endgames, yeah, it's actually huge. Like, it's come up in multiple games since then. And also my speed of calculation. Like, even my speed of talking. I feel like I couldn't talk this fast until, like, I calculated in Dvoretsky, where I had to, like, go through such long lines where if you're calculating slowly, it's literally going to take, like, 5 hours per exercise. So you've just got to learn to calculate quickly. And you just, by doing the exercises so much, like, you just speed up. So, honestly, Dvoretsky, fantastic. Cannot fault it. So let's keep going with these discovered checks.
The first one. What do you think? Can Black play here 7 and make a fork, attacking the rook on c8 and the bishop on b3? Is a good move or not?
So the question is, can queen b7 be played, making a fork, yes or no? No. Because we can play a fork, we can play rook c7 check, hitting the queen and the king, and if queen takes, then we can do the discovered check d6 and hit the king and take the queen. So the answer is no. Okay, we got that.
We can take opponent's queen.
Oh, did I just reveal the answer?
Please go with the answer.
Oh, okay. I just revealed the answer. Right? Wait. Okay, I shouldn't skip these so much. Let's hit the question.
One is white to move how to continue. Please go.
Okay. So is this winning actually? So if rook takes queen, pawn takes, and bishop takes rook, they push the pawn. We play bishop a3. Has to be winning, surely. Surely with these two pawns. My gut feeling is that it would be winning, but maybe it's some crazy draw. Maybe there's something smoother here, right? So what could be smoother? I mean, we can also play bishop g7 check, and on king g8, maybe we can play... Oh, maybe play bishop d4 check. I mean, that would be a checkmate, so that looks pretty strong. Checkmate is better than a dodgy endgame to grind.
And hope after a4, we can take the rook, and here we are piece up. After b3, we can play bishop a3 and stop opponent's b2 move. However, when we play rook b4, opponent will not take on b4. But first, we'll give intermediate check.
Oh, the intermediate check.
Opponent will take on b4.
Oh my god.
Instead of that, we play
That's
b7
horrible.
check
That's
and
horrible.
check. And now we can deliver a killer track from where? Okay, from d4. So we also close this horizontal, and now it's not just a check, but it's a mate. Because now bishop on d4 controls the h8 square.
Yo, that's the joy of it, right? Like you say 38 minutes, but you're always doing a little bit more. So yeah, it'll pay off. I wanted to do all of these Ds, so let's just keep going. Let's just grind it. Whatever. Let's just do it.
Yes, we can.
Oh god, I missed the question.
Okay, the answer is yes or not.
Alright, so can we take this pawn? Was that the question? Okay, I need to stop skipping.
Mate, because now bishop on d4 controls the h8 square. The next one. Can we take on e3 or not?
Alright, can we take on e3 or not? Looks extremely risky, given that the queen is on the line of our king. So this is the other thing as well, right? Like, you can really make your life a lot easier by just minimizing the amount of tactics that can be thrown on you. Like, if you set up with a castle that you know very well, you're just not going to deal with like such bullshit tactics all the time. Like, if I had to deal with bullshit tactics like this in every game, I'd probably be playing shogi full time. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So like, just like make sure like you play setups you know well, openings you know well, castles you know well, and yeah, it's literally gonna be fine. Like, you won't have horrors like this.
Please pause video and think. Okay, the answer is yes, we can take. Okay, there are discovered cracks.
Oh, we can take. See, this is why. Like, I don't want to take the risk. I realize now that yeah, rook d1 can be met with queen e5 to block. I don't know. That was kind of lazy of me to assume that we're in trouble. But yeah, I guess that's the point. You can just block with the queen. I guess you could play rook e6 check. That's probably the best move given the situation. And if the king has to move, we just take on e3, and we have a slightly better pawn structure and can maybe try and play for something. But of course, objectively, it has to be drawn. But yeah, very interesting. But yeah, I don't want to take these risks. Like, it's not necessary. I mean, okay, at the same time in that position, probably you didn't have a good choice, right? Like, Yeah, I mean that pawn on e3 was such a fawn, so you'd probably want to take it.
Don't mind it very much, because after rook a6 or rook d1, both checks that tries to win our queen.
What course am I doing? I am on Chessmood. I am studying the Tactics Ninja, which is for players up to 2000. But they suggest that if you are a 2000 player and above, just skip forward, do the tests, and if you find anything difficult, then you can go back into it. And I think, honestly, like when I did the pins and the skewers and the forks, like I felt like I was sharper in my games. So I think, all of it's practice, like even if it's beginner stuff, like, it's still good to do from time to time. And I'll come back to this quote. I'll say it like in every other YouTube video. But I had an amazing analysis session with Brandon Clark, this international master. And he basically said, like, if you want to actually be good at chess, you've got to do the basics as well. It's like how football players practice their dribbles, their shots, their passing, like, they've been doing that probably from the age of 5, yet they're still doing all of these like simple tactics. Not tactics, simple plays, right? And it's the same with chess. Like, if you think that, I know how to do a fork, I'm never gonna practice doing a fork again. You are going to occasionally miss a fork, which is just stupid because you shouldn't miss a fork. So, just grind the puzzle, just do it, and yeah, it'll pay off.
The same happens after rook a6, queen e5. Now rook defines
I am from the UK.
a little bit tricky.
I'm from the UK.
Go to the next one.
I feel like if I say where I'm from in the UK, you could probably find me. That's how small the place is. But I've also done a YouTube video on where I live, so you can probably work it out from that as well. But okay, this is the position, white to play. Or is it gonna say black to play, and is it gonna ask the question, oh, can they take this pawn? That would be quite funny.
What do you think? Can black take on h4 or not?
Hey, okay, can they take the pawn? Well, that would be a bit unfortunate in the light of f4 check, literally blundering the game. Like, f4 check is so savage because they can't even take en passant because it's a check.
Please pause nothing.
That's actually so cruel.
Okay, the answer is no. Black cannot take on h4 because it will be discovered check.
Practice your sume, exactly. Like, can you imagine if chess players had the culture to actually be disciplined to practice your like checkmates, your force mates? Like, there's no standards in chess culture. People don't even know what to do. They just like, I don't know, download like the I don't know, the highest rated lifetime repertoire on Chessable and think that's training. Like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy like how shogi is just so much more advanced in actually training shogi, and it's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. Like, and I think that's the thing, because I think shogi there's a lot of respect and a lot of help of your peers within the game, whereas chess is just about how to make money, right? So people don't give a shit if you're getting better or not. It's just like, can I like rinse an extra penny out of you? Speaking of which, you can now join Chess Lifestyle. You can become a member. So, become a tactician rat. Join me on this gym rat journey, and get these cool badges, because I put a lot of thought into them. You can have the deep dark forest rat. You can have the magician rat, and you can have the Mikhail Tal rat. So we're gonna get pretty damn good at tactics, and you should let me rinse you of your money, like all the other chess content creators. So yeah, back to the puzzle.
Next one, please. The next one. What do you think? Can we take on e2 or not? Please pause nothing.
Can you focus like this 100%? What do you mean? That's a funny coincidence. Brandon Clark is coaching me. Yo, that's sick. That's sick. Brandon's a great coach. Fun fact about Brandon, I can't remember if I told him. I think I did. I was like debating it. I was like, this is so embarrassing, but I should just tell him. But I've literally been watching Brandon's YouTube videos since I was like 12. Like, he had a YouTube channel, and it's really funny because his like voice is really high pitch. And he didn't show his face either, but he had a YouTube channel. I used to watch all of his videos because he was sick. He was actually sick. I know it was really good content. So yeah, for sure. I know he's a great coach, and I'm sure you'll learn a lot from him. But yeah, the question is, can I take this pawn? Oh, I don't want to. I really don't want to. I mean, there's like literally a discovered check, but can I? Okay, let's calculate. If I take this pawn, okay, they can even do double checks. But what's the worst that can happen? So the worst that can happen is I lose a rook. So if I take that pawn, let's say they play like, I don't know, rook d5 or rook b4. Am I able to deal with this? I feel like I'm not. I feel like something popped up on the stream, but maybe that's my imagination. Maybe I'm going delirious. I mean, I'm not taking this pawn. Like, never in a million years am I taking this pawn. Like, do I even need to? Like, is there even a threat? Like, are they going to promote this pawn? Do I have to take this pawn right now? I don't know. Probably what I'd play in a game. Like, for real, I'd play knight f5 check, rook e4, put the rook behind the pawn, and just say, like, yeah, I'll play, like, knight f5 check, rook e4, and play knight g3 and try and round up this pawn. That would be my plan. But yeah, I'm not taking this pawn. Hell no. Oh, knight f5 at the end. So you... Wait, what are you guys talking? Oh my god. That's so nice. That's so nice. But... Nah, the real answer is you play knight f5, rook e4, knight g3, and you keep all the pieces on because you're a swindling bastard and you're gonna find a way to trick them into a fork and actually win the game, not just draw the game. So that would be my answer. But yeah, maybe you can take the pawn, right? So rook b4 or rook d5, you just move the king. If they take, you've got knight f5. So very nice spot to Peter for finding that.
Okay.
Good job.
After king d2, it look like that we cannot take this pawn. Well, the knight on e3 is defended, the g4 pawn is also defended, but our rook on d4 is not defended. And like can play rook d4 or rook d5 check, and next move try to win the rook. But the thing here is that we just make a move with the king, for example, king f2, and then black takes the rook. Now we play knight f5, fork, and take back the rook. So in the initial position, we...
So actually, I'm curious, Peter. Like, if you had this in a game, like, what time control of game does it have to be short enough to the point where you wouldn't take the pawn? Or do you think even in like a blitz game, you're 100% taking that pawn? Even in a bullet game, you're 100% taking that pawn? Because I mean, for me, like even a classical game, I'd be like, no, I don't want to take that pawn. I really don't want to, which is just wrong. I should just calculate it and you know, take that draw. But I'd be looking at like everything I can do to not take that pawn, which is probably definitely a bad idea. But yeah, would be very curious to hear, like, at what point does intuition take over, or you're just that confident in just like always calculate it out and see.
Who take the pawn? The next one. Rook endgame, and we have one pawn, opponent has two pawns. Also, the e2 pawn is attacked, and here we should make a decision. Do we defend the e2 pawn, playing rook g2, or king f2, or we take the g4 pawn and give the e2 pawn? Which one? Please, both and think.
Okay, so we've got some options here. We can defend, we can attack. Okay, so my first instinct then is let's take this g4 pawn, because it doesn't look like they can take on e2, because we can play king f3, discover check, hitting the rook. So in fact, when we take on g4, we actually keep our pawn protected. Oh, and this is another word of advice, which is something I picked up from Ravi Harrier, who's now a grandmaster. But basically, one of the most important things that people sleep on in the endgames is tactics. Like, people think that, oh, you know, there are fewer pieces on the board, there are not going to be as many tactics. But no, in fact, like, the board is more open, your kings are exposed. Yeah, there are going to be tactics all over the place. So just take g4, exactly.
Okay, we can take on g4, and we just take the pawn back, because opponent cannot take on e2. Do you see why? Well, because the opponent takes
Thank you, Milora. Appreciate it.
And next move, we take the rook.
Cheers, Harry, for joining. Enjoy the rest of your evening or night.
White to move, how to continue, be careful.
Bullet might just be random. I think you're going to lose if you don't take in classical. Yeah, exactly. I mean, literally, think back to our game, Peter. I still think back to our game in Hull so much. Like, oh my god, it was just so dumb. It was literally like, don't calculate, get a worse position, because you've literally blundered something. Like, manage to fight my way back and then immediately blunder again because I'm not calculating, and then fight my way back and then blunder again because I'm not calculating. And yeah, you can't do that in classical. You literally can't. And okay, I don't think I've ever been as bad as that whole tournament. Like, I literally wasn't calculating in that tournament, and I kind of learned the hard way. So I do think in classical I'm a lot better nowadays at like doing this, but yeah, definitely not as good as I should be. If I wanna reach new heights. But okay, this is white to play. So instinctively, you just want to play knight c6, right? And do this discover check, because why not? And then it looks even nicer, because on king g8, you even got knight e7, which is mate. which is kind of similar to one of the previous tactics we did. So then the question is, can they do anything about it? No. So why is Avatic saying be careful? I have no idea. I mean, that has to be the answer. It's literally force mate.
Okay.
Yep, looks like mate in 2.
Track, king g8, knight h6. Well, you watch the videos carefully and you have seen this mating pattern. If you say knight f5, king g8, but with knight e7, this is still good, but there is one problem.
What?
Is when we play knight f5 track, opponent is not forced to make a move with the king, but opponent can take the bishop on c3. So in the initial position.
Oh, okay. I was reading chat when he said knight e7 wasn't good, and I was like, but okay.
And knight e7, thank you.
It's all good.
I did not a bad job during this section. Let's go to the next example. It's white to move, a little bit tricky one, don't answer it in 1 second.
Okay, so obviously I answered it in 1 second, and I was thinking, why not just knight g5? Because the king moves and then we just mate, but I'm sure there's going to be a reason. I mean, knight g5, how does he even block the check? Like, huh? This is just mate. This is just mate. Like what is Avatic talking about?
Okay, the thing is that the queen on d5 is undefended and we can make a discover.
Oh, so you might want to play knight f4.
Take the queen,
See, I don't even see that I can win the queen because, I don't know, like, you just see the mate there, right? Like, yeah, I think, yeah, no. This is interesting.
Knight f4, you say, now we give a discover check, and knight g5 supports this move, and it's a knight. The last example. It's white to move. What do you think? Can we play here queen a1 and kind of set up a dangerous discover check, or opponent can take the g5 pawn and then take the knight on f6? Please, what would you answer?
Interesting. So queen a1, we take on g5. Aha, knight g4 to the rescue. And yeah, the question is, okay, they would have to block, we can take everything, and we're just masses of material up. Right? Queen a1, queen g5, knight g4 check, and if rook blocks, we take with the queen, queen takes, knight takes, and we take on b3. I mean, definitely I would take white, but is that enough? Yeah, it should be enough. We can just even take on d6, and if they ever push a2, just play rook a1. And this b pawn is very far away. We have a whole extra rook. Yeah, this is winning.
Okay, after queen a1, if black takes queen g5, looks like here we lose. We should make a move with the king, and then opponent will take our knight. But here, we can answer the check with the check. Playing knight g4 discovered the check. The bishop on g8 plays very badly, and black cannot play king g8. If rook f6, we will take the rook. If queen a5, we will take the queen. So here, we are winning. After queen a1, so here we set up discover track, and if black plays queen e5, closing this. Now the queen on b5 doesn't control the d7 square, and we can play here knight d7. Still black cannot take the g5 pawn because of the pin, and after queen exchanges, now the next move we are going to win an exchange.
Very nice. Okay, good stuff, Avatic. Okay, next one. Let's go. I actually want to be done with this. Alright, double check. Let's go.
It's white to move.
Oh,
okay.
God. Okay. So I think it's just white to move. What to do? Okay. Is that mate? Yeah, that's mate. Okay, we got it. So it's just knight e6 check. If king this way, mate. If king that way, just mate in 2. I think we got that. No problem. Wait, did I make a mistake? No. It's double check. Yeah. We're good. Surely he's going to explain that. Yeah, there's better. Yeah. Okay.
Bull checks. Check out both of them. The next example.
God, Avatic's giving me heart attacks when he's like showing like different moves.
It's white to move, and in the game here, white played knight.
Okay, we were too quick.
If you have 2 double checks, check out both of them. The next example. It's white to move, and in the game here, white played
Oh, okay.
g5, attacking the queen on e4, and also threatening queen h7 or queen f7. What do you think about this move? Is it a good move or?
Oh, interesting. Oh, this looks like some nasty business. This looks like some utterly nasty business. How do you make it work? Check. Do you guys see it? Oh, I was looking too hard at mate, not just gaining material. Okay, if it's just gaining material, then yeah, exactly. Just queen g2, king takes, and knight takes f4 with a double check. So it's very important you play queen g2, not queen h1, because then it's not a double check. And I don't think you'd lose as much material. So queen g2, king takes g2, knight f4. King has to move, and then you take the queen, and then you're just a piece up. So I think that's good.
After knight g5, by the way here guys, what do you think? Queen g2 or queen h1? Okay, queen d2 is better. Queen h1, king h1, knight double check, it's just check. And here after queen f3.
Yeah, exactly.
F3,
That's
knight,
what I was
knight f4.
thinking
This
about.
double in the initial position, knight g5 was a bad move. The next example. It's white to move, how to continue, please?
Okay, white to move. Okay, got it. I'm pretty sure. Alright, let's actually make sure it works. Yeah, of course it works. And that's the other rule. So, for instance, in this position, I looked at rook c8, and I saw that after king c8, knight b6 is just checkmate. Yeah? So you see how actually, like, already, this is the third time a knight and bishop checkmate like this has come up, so I'm already seeing it, like, instantly, right? So these puzzles are good. But after rook c8, for a second I was like, oh, what if rook takes c8? But the point is, when it's double check, the king has to move by force. So, because yeah, if like the rook takes, well, it's still in check. So simply rook c8, king takes is forced. Or, okay, the king can move, but then we can push the pawn with mate. So, yeah, that's just the answer.
Discover check. We can play knight c3. Fourth would be bishop b6, and that's right. But in the initial position, instead of playing rook d7, there is a better option if you didn't see. Okay,
And just
there's a
double
very
check.
nice king c8. It's gonna be, it's white to move. White can only c6 hangs, and also here black has a battery. What is a battery you will learn in our next courses. Here black wants to play queen b2 and queen a1 main. In the game here, white resigned. Was it a good decision or not? Please.
Oh my god, white resigned here? Guys, just never resign, please. For the love of God, don't resign. But yeah. Oh, and exactly, we have again this rule. So at first glance, it might look like, okay, queen takes, king takes, pawn takes, and you might think about, oh, what happens if bishop block? But again, as soon as you go pawn takes, you're checking with the pawn, you're checking with the rook. That means the king has to move, right? There's no bishop blocks, the pawn checks the king. So there's never a situation where you double check and the king doesn't have to move. So you can literally just go queen takes, king takes, pawn takes, g6, and it's just mate. So that's just that.
Resigning the pawn g1 defends the g6 pawn. So it's an furious white to move. We can give different discover checks. Also, we can give double checks on f6 or h6. Which one is the best? You can pause the video and
Okay. Nice. Okay. So just bishop f6, and the point is if king f8, then just rook d8 mate, and if bishop f6, king h6, then we can go bishop g7, king h5, and rook h6 mate. So I think that's it as well. Yo, Josh, what's up? Welcome to the stream.
Just discover check and try to win the queen. It's gonna be not good.
Just to give you an update. Oh wait, did I? Oh, I already mentioned this in the video, I think. No, I didn't mention this in the last video. No, so I've got to show you. So basically, I have added some custom badges for the Chess Lifestyle members, and we are going to start off with the Deep Dark Forest rat, which upgrades to the Magician rat, which upgrades to the Mikhail Tal rat. So since we are tactical rats, we are sticking by the theme of Mikhail Tal. I was pretty happy with this idea. And I had quite a lot of fun with AI generators. But yeah, this we are grinding the chess mood. We have done a bunch of puzzles, like way too many puzzles. But it's good. I feel like I am getting sharper.
After bishop a8, king g8, and rook d8. So we are here.
Okay, I'm pretty sure we're right. I'm pretty sure we're right.
On this
Yeah.
track. Bishop g7 double press only with king h5 with a nice mate.
Yeah.
Next example. It's white to move. How to continue?
Okay, white to move. How to continue, guys? Beautiful. Did you make these? So I made the first two. I have to admit the smoking rat I saw on Reddit. But the owner of the painting, someone asked him if they could use it, and the guy said yes. So I sent him a DM anyway to ask if I can use it, but I reckon it'll be fine. So yeah, I think they're cool. They're really cool. But yeah, this one is simply queen h7 because it's a puzzle, so it's always going to be queen h7. And then knight g5 check, king h8, and knight f7 checkmate.
Here's a
So
small, nice bishop
that's
f3
that.
check. And like, it's white to move.
Wait, did I get it
Knight
wrong?
G5.
No,
Double check.
okay, good,
It's white
good.
to move. How to continue? Let's go.
Phew, okay. Okay, I think I've got it. So again, gotta look for our forcing moves, gotta look for our checks. So queen takes knight, king takes knight a6 check, and if king c8, we bring the rook down with mate. If king a8, we bring the rook down with mate. So that's it.
Pause something. We can give knight 8, knight c6 double check, and here we are pissed up with a winning position. No, if king knight. So after queen b8, king b8, we could hurry up and think about second double. The last example. It's white to move. How to continue? Please pause the video.
Okay. Oh, that's very cool. So I'm pretty sure. Okay, since it's the last one, I'll let you guys have a think. But I reckon probably most of you have got it. Maybe. But yeah, in this position again, we just want to look for our forcing moves. We can see that rook g1 is a forcing move. Sure, it undefends f3, but the point is we're the one attacking. We've got the initiative, so rook g1 check. King goes to h8. And then we can simply play rook c8, bang, double check, and mate. So I think that should be it.
Okay, black rook g1 is of the bishop on. Which one? Here rook c8, with the idea after rook c8 to play rook g1 mate, take rook g1 bishop c8. And after rook g1, they can cover this check with bishop g4.
Oh,
Bishop
very
g4,
cool,
king
very
h5,
cool.
still on b2, and they are
So
left,
safest
right,
always
bishop
just to
g1,
go for the
g1,
double
4
check.
King h8,
Yeah.
and now rook c8. This is already double check, and it's a
So that's the thing with calculation. It's like you should also try and pick calculation that like the more secure the calculation is, the better. Like there are all these phrases like long variation, wrong variation, and how like you can get the GM or something by just like seeing 3 moves ahead. I think that's actually another Brandon Clark one which I had, but I think I had it before as well. Like yeah, you should just like you only need to see 3 moves ahead and you can already play like a GM. Like you just need to know what 3 moves and what how to choose the right line to go for. So okay guys, I think we have definitely done our 38 minutes of training. I kind of went on a mad one, but it was a lot of fun. And actually I'll add all of these before I forget. So we did double check, discovered check, deflection, distraction. We still didn't work out what the difference was between deflection and distraction, but I don't think it matters really, as long as we understand the general theme. Nice. That was a sesh. That was a proper sesh. Perfect. Okay, 5 days of tactics, 38 minutes minimum of training. And yeah, let me know as well if you think I should upload this video of this endgame novelty Dvoretsky tomorrow, or whether you think I should chill out and upload it in a few days. But unless there's any final questions, I think that's all from me. No worries. Thank you for staying till the end, Milora, and everyone else who joined for the stream.